Hello agents, and welcome to another daily episode of Targeted Loot. Today, your daily farming guide for Tuesday, February 2nd. In this series, we cover a lot. We got the Targeted Loot map, Dark Zone exclusives, highlights for the weekly vendors, and of course, build and farming suggestions as well. This is Shadow Gaming, and if you're new to the channel and enjoyed this video, consider pressing the thumbs up and subscribe buttons below, and if you didn't, go ahead and give it a thumbs down. And remember to hit those bell notification icons so you never miss a daily morning video. Comment below if you have any questions or feedback whatsoever. Otherwise, let's get this video started. Alright agents, so starting off with the Dark Zones and of course vendor reset highlights, which are going to pop up in that big bottom left overlay right there. Now it just reset this morning along with title update 12.1 going live and the Resident Evil apparel event as well, which is going along with the reanimated, event or whatever it's called. So this is what it looks like. You got the Resident Evil apparel event, which every 3 levels you're going to get a key, and then it goes along with the global event reanimated, which you can activate here. Otherwise, my only real recommendation for this week is the Matador and DZ South and the Virginian and DZ West, and maybe the Surge at the theater. Otherwise, that's about all I'd recommend to pick up in the vendors this week. Last week was full of really good stuff. Now over here in DZ West or World of Holdings, there's no Dark Zone exclusive, so let's go ahead and move on to what there is Dark Zone exclusive. And that of course is in DZ South. First off, we got pistols targeted loot. So there's 2 Dark Zone exclusive pistols, the TDI KARD custom pistol, which gives you an extra skill tier. And then the other one is called the Orbit with perfect finisher, which gives you a ton of crit hit chance and crit hit damage when killing an enemy with that pistol and then swapping to another weapon. I highly recommend grabbing both of them. They're both worth farming for. Otherwise, let's move on to DZ East with holsters. Of course, you can get the 3 exotic holsters. You got the Waveform and the Dodge City holster and the Imperial Dynasty holster. Otherwise, for the Dark Zone exclusive holster, you got the Claws Out. That gives you 500% melee damage and 10% pistol damage, which is great for any shield build. Alright, let's go check out what we got on the north side now. Alright agents, north side targeted loot highlights. Starting off with the invaded missions, we got a really important one this week, which is Grand Washington Hotel. Now why that's important is because Grand Washington Hotel can drop Puck's blueprint, which can grant you, the ability to craft the Nemesis at the White House. So make sure to run this week. And of course, remember, if you don't get it right away, you could just toggle mission mode and turn those on and off and keep running it as invaded. For the other invaded missions, we got Bank HQ and then of course Jefferson Trade Center, and the 2 strongholds is District Union Arena and Tidal Basin as always. Now up here at Camp White Oak, we got knee pads targeted loot. You got 2 exotics, Ninja Bike Messenger knee pads and Sawyer's knee pads. With the Ninja Bike, you could vault or cover to cover, and that's going to grant you 25% bonus armor and instant reload of your weapon that's equipped. And then with Sawyer's, you have to sit still for every 1 second, you get 1% weapon damage. Otherwise, you can farm for the Fox's Prayer knee pads, which come with 8% damage to targets out of cover, but I would farm Overlord, and just off the bat, I do not see Overlord anywhere, so you might have to farm knee pads today. Next up, we got mask targeted loot at Coney Island Ballpark. You can farm for the 2 exotics, so you got Coyote's Mask and the Vile Mask. The Coyote's Mask is great for DPS builds and helping your allies, and it's going to give you crit hit chance and crit hit damage for you and all your allies, and only one of you in the team needs to be wearing it. For the Vile Mask, it's great for, skill damage and status effects, and the Vile Mask debuff is increased a lot by the Demolitionist spec, so if you want to run that instead, that can give you more damage. You can also farm for the Punch Drunk Mask with 20% headshot damage baked into it. I normally would suggest farming Douglas and Harding for that, but you can farm masks as well. And then next up, we got Negotiator's Dilemma at Coney Island Amusement Park. So I'll put my double LMG build in the top title card right now. And that, of course, is 4 pieces of Negotiator's Dilemma, the Coyote's Mask, Grupo Sombro gloves, or Contractor's gloves if you want to run LMGs like the Pestilence or Bullet King, Grupo Sombro for ARs or SMGs. And then really that's about it. I never recommend farming for skill attachments. Kinley College is closed, and the Summit you pick your own target to lose. So let's go check out the west and east sides of Washington, D.C. now. Alright agents, west side target loot highlights. Starting off with the gear sets, we got True Patriot at DARPA Research Labs. I'll put my favorite True Patriot SMG build in the top title card right now. That is 4 pieces of True Patriot, a Sokolov chest with Intimidate, and the Memento backpack running the Lady Death, and the Mop with 10% armor on kill. That is great for solo, group, legendary, heroic with all directives, whatever you need. It's really good. And then we got Walker Harrison Co. with the Pentagon. You can of course farm for the Chain Killer chest piece with Perfect Headhunter, which deals 150% of your killing blow, which is incredible. You know, that's up to 20 million a headshot. We of course got aces and eights at Foggy Bottom. If you're looking for another headshot damage build, you can mix 3 pieces of aces and eights, 2 pieces of Aralda Holding, 1 being a backpack with Vigilance or Composure, and then of course the Chain Killer chest piece with Perfect Headhunter, and you want to run the Mantis as your primary, or Ekim's Long Stick, or the White Death as your secondary. Next up, we got Hunter's Fury at Constitutional Hall. Great gear set, probably my favorite because it runs SMGs and shotguns, and I'll put my favorite Hunter's Fury build in the top title card right now. And that, of course, is 4 pieces of Hunter's Fury, the Death Grip gloves, and then the Memento backpack running the Dark Winter and the Scorpio. And, you know, if you missed, you know, picking up those death grips last week at the vendor or just don't have them still for whatever reason, you can run an alternative version to that. And that is going to be 4 pieces of Hunter's Fury, the Sokolo chest with Intimidate, or my favorite, Obliterate, and the Memento backpack, and I still run the Dark Winter and the Scorpio. And of course, reminder, you want 3 armor cores, and then 4 weapon cores, and then 1 skill tier from the Memento backpack. And the last gear set we got is Future Initiative at Potomac Event Center. Remember, the chest and backpack are Iron Horse raid exclusive, so keep that in mind when farming for this. But no worries, I got you guys, so just keep in mind that you can do an Alp Summit chest piece with like Empathetic Resolve and like a Murakami backpack with Safeguard on it, and that is a great non-raid exclusive healer build, definitely worth farming for. Moving on to normal targeted loot, I already did Walker Harrison Co., but we do have gear system mods at Lincoln Memorial. If you're looking to farm for your God roll, you know, 12% crit hit damage mod, 6% crit hit chance, 13% protection from elites, run this on Heroic. It's a very fast mission with several bosses in it. And with that Hunter's Fury build I just mentioned earlier, I could complete this in about 8 to 9 minutes each on Heroic with 4 directives on. Next up, we got Petrov over here at Tidal Basin. You can farm the Contractor's Gloves with 8% damage to armor. Definitely worth grabbing it, you know, if you didn't get them at the clan vendor last week. You know, it's great for any LMG build or if you're stacking damage to armor. Next up, we got shotguns at West Potomac Park. You got 2 exotics, the Sweet Dreams exotic shotgun with the Sandman talent where you can one-hit melee kill any purple or red barred enemy every 15 seconds. And then of course the Scorpio with Septic Shock, which is like poison, confuse, shock, and then 20% damage debuff depending on how many shots fired at the enemy. Both of those are kind of worth picking up. Definitely the Scorpio is for sure. It works on all builds and I use it on pretty much every build I have. Otherwise, the other 4 best shotguns in this game is the Rock and Roll with Perfectly Extra, the Mop with 10% armor on kill, the Custom Inmate 70, and the Marine Super 90 with Close and Personal rolled on them. Next up, we got LMGs at DCDHQ, 2 exotics, the Bullet King and the Pestilence, both worth it. The Bullet King, you know, you never have to reload it, and the Pestilence, you can get over 1 million per damage tick. Of course, that's scaled off weapon damage, not status effects, so keep that in mind. And of course, here's a list of recommended LMGs that drop in the light zone that I would definitely check out. The Black Friday does drop in the dark zone only, but the rest of them do drop in the light zone. I recommend probably the New Reliable and the Good Times. Next up, we got assault rifles at Bank HQ. Now, of course, you got the Eagle Bearer, but that's a Dark Hours raid exclusive. The other 2 is the Chameleon with Adaptive Instincts and the Capacitor with Capacitance. Both of those are farmable in the light zone. You have to first unlock the Capacitor through 5 summit challenges. The Chameleon you can just straight up farm for, and the 5 summit challenges is really easy and you could do it on any difficulty. And then of course, here's a bunch of, you know, named ARs that drop in the light zone in the bottom left overlay. Definitely check that out. The only dark zone exclusive would be the Rail Splitter. Next up, we got Badger Tough at Downtown West. You can of course farm for the 0F's chest piece with Perfect Unbreakable, which is great for all DPS hybrid builds, or if you're doing the Ridgeway's Pride Project 1. Next up, we got Hana U at Federal Emergency Bunker. You can farm that Force Multiplier backpack with Perfect Combined Arms, giving you 30% skill damage every 3 seconds you land a shot on any NPC or player, and is the perfect, you know, backpack for skill damage other than, you know, using tech support or maybe the percussive maintenance with perfect tech support, which will give you 25 to 30% skill damage every 25 to 30 seconds, and that is a lot. You know, it's definitely worth running, you know, instead of the Force Multiplier. And really, that's all I'm going to recommend on the west side. Let's go check out now what we got on the east side. Alright guys, east side target loot highlights. Starting off with the gear sets, we got Eclipse Protocol at Jefferson Plaza. I'll put my favorite fire damage build in the top right card now. That's 4 pieces of Eclipse Protocol, the Imperial Dynasty holster, and 1 piece of Golan gear for an extra 10% status effects. And I always run the Stinger and of course the Firestarter Chem Launcher. Next up, we got Ongoing Directive at Air and Space Museum. We got 2 great bleed damage builds for you guys as always. So the first one, you're going to need Ridgeway's Pride, 4 pieces of Ongoing Directive, and then of course the Anarchist Cookbook with Perfect Wicked. And I always run the Carnage with Perfect Sadist and of course the Scorpio. I run both of those on both of these builds. And the other one is 4 pieces of Ongoing Directive, and then the Badger Tough Backpack with Creeping Death and a Vile Mask. Both of those builds are great, especially if the Ridgeway's Pride use that one. Next up, we got Foundry Bulwark and Federal Triangle. Just like Future Initiative, the chest and backpack are still Iron Horse raid exclusive, but what I recommend is running a pair of like Emperor's Guard knee pads with that 1% armor regen. And then, some Bellstone Armory as well. Just stack in the armor regen, and this is an amazing, almost invulnerable tank set. And the last 2 we got is Tip of the Spear, Grand Washington Hotel. I just don't recommend this ever. And Rigor at District Union Arena is definitely worth it. It gives you instant skill cooldowns and skill damage with it as well. For normal targeted loot, I will mention Providence Defensive Capitol Building Stronghold. Besides farming the named item like the Sacrifice of Perfect Glass Cannon, you can also farm this on Legendary, which is going to give you the best rolls possible. So this is a great day to farm for Providence or the Sacrifice chest piece of Perfect Glass Cannon as well. Next up, we got chess pieces at American History Museum. You got 2 exotics, the Tardigrade, which is a True Sons, exotic, so this has an extra 3% chance to drop today if you're looking for that Tardigrade armor. And then the Ridgeway's Pride, but you need to have completed the project first or just have a friend drop it for you if they've already completed the project. It'll be part of their general targeted loot pool. And then we got Golong Gear at Viewpoint Museum. If you're looking for that Anarchist Cookbook with Perfect Wicked, this is a great place to farm. Viewpoint Museum is a really good mission in my opinion, and honestly, like it's a pretty decent sized mission, and it seems to drop a decent amount of loot as well. It's not super fast and easy like Lincoln Memorial, but it does seem to drop more loot. Next up, we got rifles at Jefferson Trade Center. So today's your day to get the Merciless. It may be invaded, today, but as soon as you clear the invaded mission once, then you'll be able to just farm this as a regular Hyenas mission, and you're gonna have a 3% extra chance to get that Merciless, and then of course you can also get the Diamond Bag. Otherwise, I recommend the Baker's Dozen with Perfect Lucky Shot and the Surge with Perfect Spike, which I believe you can purchase at the theater or the campus this week. And those would be the 2 named rifles I recommend picking up. The Harmony with Perfect Insync is a Dark Zone exclusive, unfortunately. And really, that's all I recommend on the east side. Let's go check out New York City last. Alright agents, last but not least, we're here at New York City targeted loot highlights, and real quick I'll mention the main highlights. So submachine guns at 2 bridges is huge. You could farm open world NYC bosses in this area if you're looking for the Lady Death, and of course the other 2 is the Chatterbox and the Backfire. If I have enough cards, I'll put my Chatterbox quick 5-minute guide in the top right, otherwise in the pinned comment below. Those are the 3 exotic SMGs you can get, and the Lady Death is the most highly likely to drop right here. Otherwise, the Dark Winter and the Apartment are Dark Zone exclusive. Always keep that in mind. I hope you guys bought the Dark Winter and DZ South vendor last week. And then of course the other 2 SMGs that do drop in the light zone would be the Safety Distance with Perfect Outsider and then the Grudge with Perfect Vindictive. Both of those are really good, and I believe it's the Grudge that goes well on that Ongoing Directed Bleed build as well. And then next up we got Empress at Stranded Tanker. My favorite turret and drone build is 3 pieces of Empress, 2 pieces of Hana U, and the Waveform holster running kinetic momentum on the chest and the Force Multiplier backpack. And then of course, you want to run the Capacitor and the Harmony. So that's just how my favorite turret and drone build work. Otherwise, you can get Caesar's Guard with, I think, Perfectly Skilled, and then Perfectly Calculated's on the backpack for the battery pack. Next up, we got gloves at Civic Center. You can farm the BTSU Data Gloves, which grants overcharge to you or any ally that's at skill tier 6. Very useful just by canceling or destroying your hive. And then we got backpacks over here at Pathway Park. You got those 2 exotic backpacks, the Memento with Kill Confirmed, and of course the Acosta's Go Bag with 1 in the hand. The Memento is the real prize right here. I would highly recommend farming for it. It goes great on basically any build, DPS, tank, skill, it just does it all. And then Douglas and Harding over here at Battery Park for that Punch Trunk Mask. Overlord at Wall Street if you're farming for Fox's Prayer. I always recommend farming the brand over the type, so this is where I would get those 2 items. And then Strikers, I never recommend using more than 3 pieces, and that's just to calm down the Merciless or add, laser sight or laser focus to your LMGs. And then for Hardwired, I really don't recommend it either. There's only 1 build that I saw by running Butcher that I really recommend, and I'll put that in the pinned comment below. Alright agents, well that was your daily farming guide for today. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, consider pressing those subscribe and like buttons below, and if not, just go ahead and give it a thumbs down. If you'd like to become a member for extra support and exclusive perks, you can click the join button below, and thank you and shout out to all 5 of my channel members. I appreciate the extra support. Always remember to check the pinned comment and video description below for, links to support my channel, Shadow Gaming merchandise, my Discord, my clan on all platforms, and spreadsheets and websites to help you guys out as well. Anyway guys, take care and be sure to stay tuned for more daily Division 2 content. This is Agent Shadow signing off. I will see you in the next video. Take care agents.